The deadly combo. It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind where the world feels still, and the air is thick with possibilities. In a small suburban town, the lives of several individuals were about to intertwine in ways they could never have imagined. Alex sat at their kitchen table, sipping coffee and scrolling through their phone. They had been through a lot lately: a crumbling relationship, feelings of betrayal, and the sense that something they had built was falling apart. But today, they felt a glimmer of hope. They had decided it was time to rebuild, to start anew. Across town, Bella was pacing her living room, her mind racing. She had always been the type to put on a show, to prove herself to others, but beneath her confident exterior was a deep insecurity. She had been burned before, and it had left her guarded, always looking over her shoulder. She had recently gotten involved with Chris, a charming but unpredictable man who seemed to have a taste for the finer things in life, even if his bank account didn't always match his aspirations. Chris was a live wire, a man who thrived on chaos. He had a partner in crime, Dylan, who was just as reckless as he was. Together, they were a deadly combo: two-faced, self-righteous, and always looking for the next big score. They had a history of swindling people, of playing games with hearts and wallets, and now, they had set their sights on Bella, who they saw as an easy target. But Bella wasn't as naive as they thought. She had her own secrets, her own agenda. She had been involved with Ethan, a man who had left her for someone else, someone just as treacherous as he was. Ethan had moved on quickly, but Bella wasn't ready to let go. She had evidence of his past misdeeds, and she was determined to use it to her advantage. Meanwhile, Fiona, a fiercely independent woman, was dealing with her own struggles. She had recently discovered that she was pregnant, and the father was none other than Chris. But Chris was nowhere to be found, and Fiona was left to navigate the situation on her own. She had always been a fighter, but this was a battle she wasn't sure she could win. As the days passed, tensions began to rise. Bella and Chris's relationship grew more volatile, with Chris's deceitful ways becoming harder to ignore. Dylan, always lurking in the background, was ready to swoop in and take advantage of the chaos. And Fiona, determined to protect herself and her unborn child, began to piece together the truth about Chris and Dylan's schemes. The breaking point came one evening when Bella confronted Chris about his lies. The argument escalated quickly, with accusations flying and tempers flaring. Dylan tried to intervene, but his presence only made things worse. In the heat of the moment, Bea revealed the evidence she had been holding onto: a sex tape that exposed Chris and Dylan's true nature. The fallout was immediate. Chris and Dylan's carefully constructed world began to crumble, and they found themselves facing the consequences of their actions. Fiona, meanwhile, stood her ground, determined to build a better future for herself and her child. And Alex, watching from the sidelines, realized that they had the strength to move on, to create something new from the ashes of their past. In the end, the deadly combo of Chris and Dylan was no match for the resilience of those they had wronged. And as the dust settled, each of them began to find their own path forward, leaving the chaos behind and stepping into a brighter, more hopeful future.